गंधार्विक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरण मोहन जू की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षर बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानुगौरी गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अविश्व प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जाय। श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाय की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जाय। श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जाय। श्री चैतन्य चरितमृत की जाय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Sorry. Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Satya Mataji and Champak Didi, Hari Bol. And let's see who else is there. Aseshwari Mataji, Karuna Didi, and Ganga Mataji. Dandavat pranams, everybody. God, I've been suppressing a cough the whole kirtan session. I'm sucking on a cough drop right now. I think it's okay. I'll be able to suppress it. So, and I've mentioned this already too many times in the previous session, but I'm just going to mention again. The reason why I'm wearing yesterday's tilak and I'm a little bit like not all there right now is because we had a huge book shift. We shifted a bunch of boxes of books, maybe like 200, no, nearly 300 boxes of books. I think 300 boxes of books from Gopinath Bhavan to the other side of Vrindavan near Anandadam. And I was in charge of overseeing that all, and I went to sleep at 3:30 a.m. So yeah, that's why. And then anyway, so I didn't sleep hardly at all. And then we're going to do that again tonight. Actually, we're moving more books tonight. So it's going to be... Yeah, I will definitely get some rest afterwards. Yeah. All right, so although we are going to be... We put all the books underneath the shelves. After the reading today, we're going to move them onto the shelves, I think. That's the plan. Okay. What am I doing? Okay, let's sing a song for Mahaprabhu. I don't think I'm going to be falling asleep though, and this time because I'm not feeling tired actually. What the heck? Why is it? No, why is it freezing? Well, while we're waiting for it to not be frozen anymore, let's decide on a kirtan to sing. How about, if anybody has any recommendations, let me know. If not, let me look at the chat. How about... Oh, there it is. It's back. Gorangir Dutipada or something. Yeah, let's do Gorangir Dutipada. Gorangir There it is. Okay. That person for whom the 2 lotus feet of Sri Gauranga are his wealth and property knows the essence of bhakti ras. That person for whom the sweet pastimes of Gauranga have entered the ears is pure in heart. Within one, the word order is like that because we're following the Bengali word order so that you can easily match the English translation to the Bengali. Just letting you know. Okay, within one who takes Gauranga's holy names, prem arises. I heartily glorify such a person. To one whose eyes stream tears in appreciation of Gauranga's transcendental qualities, the divine couple's eternal pastimes become manifest. Such a person is qualified for bhakti. One who reveres Gauranga's personal associates as eternally perfected souls goes to the transcendental abode of Vrajendra Sutta, the son of the king of Vraj. One who knows the land of Sri Gauramandal to be spiritual touchstone achieves residence in the land of Vraj. I love this verse. One who dives into the waves of the ocean of Gaur Prem becomes a confidential associate of Shishi Radha Madhav. Whether a person lives in his home as a householder or in the forest as a renunciate, if he exclaims Ha Gauranga, then Nartam Das begs for his association. Gaurange Duti para Jardhana Sampara Gaurange Duti pada Jardhana Sampada Se jane bhakti rasa sar Se jane bhakti rasa sar Gaurange madhur lila jar karne praveshila Gaurangir madhur lila jar karne praveshila hridaya nirmala bhelo tar hridaya nirmala bhelo tara Jai Gaurangir naam loy tar hoy premodoy Jai Gaurangir naam loy tar hoy premodoy Atare moi jai boli Hari Tare moi jai boli Hari Gauranga go nete jore Nitya lila tare spure Gauranga go nete jure Nitya Leela Tare Spure Se Jana Bhakti Ādi-khaṇḍa Se Jana Bhakti Ādi-khaṇḍa Se Jana Bhakti Tare Moi Jai Boli Hari Tare Moi Jai Boli Hari Oh Gaurange Sangi Gane Nitya Siddha Kori Mane Gaurange Sangi Gane Nitya Siddha Kori Mane Se Jai Brajendra Sutta Pasha Se Jai Brajendra Sutta Pash Shri Gaura Mandala Bhumi Je Bhajane Chintamani Shri Gaura Mandala Bhumi Je Bhajane Chintamani Tar Hoy Braja Bhumi Vasa Tar Hoy Braja Bhumi Vasa Tar Hoy Braja Bhumi Vas Tar Hoy Braja Bhumi Vas Oh Se Jai Brajendra Sutta Pash Se Jai Brajendra Sutta Pash Gaur Prema Rasa Nave Se tarange Jeba Dube Gaur Prem Rasar Nave Se tarange Jeba Dube Se Radha Madhava Antaranga Se Radha Madhava Hoy Antaranga Grihe Bhavane Te Thake Gauranga Bole Dake Grihe Bhavane Te Thake Gauranga Bole Dake Narottama Mage Tar Sanga Narottama O Mage Tar Sanga Grihe Bhavan Grihe Bhavane Te Thake Gauranga Bole Dake Grihe Bhavane Te Thake Gauranga Bole Dake Narottama Mage Tar Sanga Narottama Mage Tar Sanga Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Jaya Sachinandan Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Sachinandan Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. It's a little difficult singing with a cough drop in your mouth. Makes a lot of saliva. Okay. So, we'll do the Mangalacharan and then start our routine. I'll just share my screen again. Where are we? Haribo, Kishore Prabhu, Surevi Didi, Ganga Mataji, and Indira Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. And all the other people watching right now, I see there's 8 people there on YouTube and Facebook. Alright, so let's start. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tar Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ajanulambita bhujo kanakavadato sankirtanaikapitaro kamalayataksho vishwambaro dijavaro Yugadharma Palo Pande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha Avatirno Sakarunyo Parichinno Sarishvaro Shri Krishna Caitanya Nityanando Dvau Bhrataro Bhaje Sajayati Vishuddha Vikramam Kanakabha Kamalaya Tekshana Varajanu Vilambishad Bhujo Bahudha Bhakti Rasabhinartaka Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Bhrityas Tasya Vishveshamurter Jayati Jayati Nrityam Tasya Sarva Priyanam Adyeshi Chaitanya Priya Goshtir Charane Ashesha Prakare Mor Danda Paraname Tave Vando Shri Krishna Chaitanya Maheshwar Navadvipe Avatar Nama Vishwambhar. One second, let's open up the Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Govardhana Dharang Vande Gopalam Goparupinam Gokulotsavamishanam Govindam Gopika Priyam Tavaivasmi. Oops, sorry. Where did it go? Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamang charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptascha kamadhitaranga madhye kripa mai tvam sharanam prapana vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Haribo Raseshwari Mataji. Oh, okay. No worries. Okay. So, what are we doing? Oh yeah. The glorification of Sri Caitanya-bhāgavata and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Where is it? There it is. Okay, let's sing that now. The glories of Sri Caitanya-bhāgavata and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. From Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ādi-lila, chapter 8, verses 33 to 42. Oh. One second. Now let me just very quickly, I'll just take 1 second. Haribol, Indira Mataji. Yeah, it's very... What did I say? Did I say Indira Mataji? I meant to say Manjari Mataji. Sorry. Haribol Manjari Mataji. Yeah, actually, it very well might be possible, but I'll be more clear a little bit later when I know what time the workers are coming to. Yeah. So I will get back to you later this morning when I find out when they come. If they come like around lunchtime, then I won't be able to go because I'll have to, yeah. Alright, Jai Shri Radhe. Talk to you soon. Haribol. Sorry about that. Okay. Manjari Mataji was inviting me for lunch, and I cancelled it, but actually I kind of want to go, and so I wanted to quickly, right before she made other plans. Okay, Sri Caitanya-bhāgavata. Okay, sorry guys, I'm talking too much. Ore mora lok shuno Caitanya manga, Caitanya mahima jate jani beshaka. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Veda Vyas Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vrindavana Das Vrindavana Das Koilo Chaitanya Mangal Jahan Rashabhane Nashe Sarvaya Mangal Chaitanya Nitair Jate Janiye Mahima Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhante Sima Bhagavate Jato Bhakti Siddhante Sar Likhiya Cheniha Jani Koriya Udhar Chaitanya Mangala Shune Jadi Pashandi Javan Sheho Mahavaishnava Hoy Tata Khan Manushe Rachite Nare Aiche Granta Dhanya Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Vakta Shri Chaitanya Vrindavana Dasa Pare Koti Namaskar Aiche Granta Korite Ho Tarila Sansar Narayani Chaitanya Uchishta Bhajan Tar Garbe Janmila Shri Dasa Vrindavan Tar ki Arbhuta Chaitanya Charita Varnan Jahara Shravane Shuddha Koilo Tribhuvan Sahaje Vichitra Madhur Chaitanya Vihar Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amriter Thar O Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amriter Thar. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and very sweet. And when they are described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Caitanya-bhāgavata Ki Jai. Okay. So, yesterday's reading, let's see what... I'm not going to do a full-on recap because it will take too long. But we can just skim around it a little bit, right? The best. So yesterday we finished chapter 5. That's the Tartik Viprana Bhojan, eating the mendicant Brahman's offerings. So we read, first we heard the story of when Jagannath Mishra, he asked Vishwambar to bring a book for him, and then Vishwambar ran in the house to go get it, and when he went inside the house, Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi heard ankle bells, and they said, "Where did this come from?" And then Vishwambar gave the book and ran off outside to play, and then when Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi went inside the house, they saw footprints with flag, thunderbolt, goad, and a banner. So they became filled with ecstasy. Their hair stood on end. They started crying, and they offered obeisances to those footprints and said, "We are delivered. We will not take another birth." And then Jagannath Mishra said, Listen, mother of Vishwarup." That's a very common way of, because, in India, husband and wife never refer to each other by their name. And so lots of times the husband will refer to the wife by, mother of Vishwarup, like that. And the wife will also never say her husband's name. So, "Listen, mother of Vishwarup, go and cook some kheer with ghee for our shaligram. Tomorrow morning I will bathe our Damodar shaligram with Panchagavya. I can understand that our shaligram is walking around the room. That is why we heard the sound of ankle bells." In this way, they both worshipped the shaligram Shila with great satisfaction, and the Lord smiled within. Now, one second, there's just looking at the chat. Oh, yes, it is. It is Manjari talent. Yes, oh my God, she's like the best cook ever. Okay, so now please hear another wonderful pastime performed by the son of Jagannath. One most pious mendicant Brahman was wandering to various holy places in search of Krishna. He worshipped the Lord with the 6-syllable Gopal mantra, and he would eat only what he had first offered to Gopal. In the course of visiting various holy places, that fortunate Brahman arrived by providence at the house of the Lord. That matchless, effulgent Brahman had a deity of Bal Gopal and a shalagram Shila hanging from his neck. He constantly chanted the name of Krishna while he kept his eyes half closed and internally relished ecstatic love for Govinda. When Jagannath Mishra saw the effulgent Brahman, he respectfully stood up and then offered obeisances. Jagannath Mishra received the Brahman with the etiquette due to a guest. He personally washed the Brahman's feet and then offered him a proper seat. After the Brahman was comfortably seated, Jagannath Mishra asked him, "Where is your residence?" The Brahman replied, "I am a wandering mendicant. I go wherever my restless mind takes me." With folded hands, Jagannath Mishra said, "Your traveling is for the benefit of the world. Today I am especially fortunate. Please order me, and I will go to arrange for your cooking." The Brahman replied, "Please do whatever you feel suitable." Jagannath Mishra then happily arranged all sorts of palatable ingredients. Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi nicely cleaned the kitchen and kept all the ingredients ready for cooking. Satisfied with the arrangement, the Brahman cooked and then sat down to make an offering to Krishna. Sri Shachinandan, the super soul of all living entities, then decided to give darshan to the Brahman. As soon as the Brahman began to meditate, Sri Gaurasundar came before him. The Lord was naked. All of his limbs were covered with dust. His eyes were reddish, and his hands and feet were most beautiful. The Lord smiled and took a handful of the Brahman's rice, and then ate the rice as the Brahman watched. The fortunate Brahman cried out, "Alas, alas, this naughty boy has stolen the rice." Jagannath Mishra came there and saw Gaurasundar was smiling as he ate the Brahman's rice, and in anger Jagannath Mishra rushed to beat the Lord. The Brahman, however, got up and apprehensively caught hold of Jagannath Mishra's hand. "Mishra, you're supposed to be a cultured Aryan. What is the use of beating this ignorant boy? Only one who can distinguish between right and wrong can be beat. Therefore, I forbid you from beating this child." Jagannath Mishra then sat down in distress, holding his head in his hands. He could not speak or lift his head. He was so ashamed. The Brahman said, "My dear Mishra, please do not feel sad. Whatever is meant to happen on a particular day is known only to the Lord. Please bring whatever fruits or roots are there in your house, and I'll eat those today." Jagannath Mishra said, "If you at all consider me your servant, then please cook again. I will make all arrangements. We have all the ingredients for cooking in the house. Please cook again, then I will feel satisfied." All the friends and relatives of Jagannath Mishra present there also requested the Brahman, "Please be merciful on us and cook again." The Brahman said, "All right, according to your desire, I will certainly cook again." Everyone there was happy to hear the Brahman's decision, and they immediately cleansed the kitchen. They quickly assembled all the ingredients, and the Brahman began to cook. Everyone concluded, "This child is very restless, and he may spoil the offering again. Therefore, please take him to another house until the Brahman finishes cooking and eating." Shachi Devi then took her son in her arms and went to the neighbor's house. And then all the ladies there said to Nimai, "Listen, Nimai, you shouldn't have eaten the Brahman's rice like that." The Lord smiled with his moon-like face and replied, "What is my fault? The Brahman called me." Everyone then said, "Oh, deceitful Nimai, what will you do now that you have lost your caste? Who knows that Brahman? What is his caste? Where is he from? Now that you have eaten his rice, how will you maintain your caste?" The Lord smiled and said, "I am a cowherd boy. I always eat Brahman's rice." "How can a cowherd boy lose his caste by eating a Brahman's rice?" Saying this, the Lord looked at everyone and smiled. In this way, the Lord revealed his identity while speaking deceptively. But by the influence of his Maya, no one could understand him. Everyone laughed upon hearing the Lord's explanation. No one wanted to set him down from their embrace. As the Lord smiled and sat on various people's laps, whoever held him merged in an ocean of bliss. Meanwhile, the Brahman finished cooking again. So he sat down to make the offering. In meditation, the Brahman called Bal Gopal to eat. And Lord Gaurasundar, Gaur Gopal, the super soul, immediately came to know this. Putting everyone into illusion, the Lord secretly came before the Brahman with a smile on his face, and unseen by others, the Lord then took a handful of rice and ate it as the Brahman watched. The Brahman immediately cried, "Alas, alas!" The Lord, after eating the rice, he knew he was in big trouble. He fled away. Enraged, Jagannath Mishra got up, took a stick in his hand, and chased after the Lord in anger. The Lord fearfully fled into another room with Jagannath Mishra chasing behind and chastising him in anger. Jagannath Mishra said, "Just wait and see what I'll do to you today. Although I am an Aryan, you consider me a fool. Who has such a great thief for a son?" Saying this, Jagannath Mishra chased after the Lord in anger. Everyone present tried to restrain Mishra, but he said, "Leave me alone. Today I will beat him." They then pleaded, "Oh Mishra, you are by nature magnanimous. What kind of intelligence would you exhibit by beating him? He doesn't understand what is right and what is wrong. Whoever beats such a child is a great fool. He will not learn simply by being beaten. Children are all restless by nature." At that time, the mendicant Brahman hastily came there. Holding the hands of Jagannath Mishra, he spoke. "Listen, Mishra, this child is not at fault. Whatever is meant to happen on a particular day will certainly take place. Today, Krishna has not allotted me any rice. I am telling you, this is my realization." Am I reading the right chapter? Yes, I am. Okay, sorry. For a second I thought we read the Brahman. Sorry, I'm not all there. Feeling distressed, Jagannath Mishra was unable to raise his head. He's had his head down in dejection. He felt very... he looked at the ground and simply lamented. But then Vishwarup comes to the rescue. At that time, the most powerful and effulgent Vishwarup came there. There is no comparison to the matchless sweetness of Vishwarup's bodily limbs. A Brahman thread hung on his shoulder. He is the source of the Brahman effulgence, and though in a different form, he is directly Lord Nityananda. The purport of all the scriptures is eternally manifest on the tongue of Vishwarup. Thus he is always engaged in preaching devotional service to Lord Krishna. Seeing his extraordinary beauty, the mendicant Brahman was struck with wonder and stared at him continuously. The Brahman then said, "Whose son is this?" The people replied, "He is a son of Jagannath Mishra." The Brahman was satisfied to hear this. He embraced Vishwarup and remarked, "Glorious are the father and mother of such a son." Vishwarup offered obeisances to the Brahman. He then sat down and began speaking words that were like a stream of nectar. "Whoever receives a guest like you has attained great fortune on that auspicious day. Although you are self-satisfied, still you travel about in order to sanctify the world. It is our great fortune that we have a guest like you. But we are also unfortunate because you are fasting. If you fast while staying in someone's house, it will simply bear inauspicious fruits. I am greatly satisfied by seeing you, but I'm also very sad to hear about what has happened." The Brahman said, "Please do not feel sad. I will eat some fruits and roots. I live in the forest, so where can I get rice? I'm accustomed to eating fruits and roots in the forest. I seldom eat rice, only when it is easily available. I have become so satisfied by seeing you that I feel that I have eaten millions of meals. Please go and bring any fruits, roots, or prasad that you have, and I will eat that today." Jagannath Mishra, however, did not speak anything. He just held his head in his hands in distress. Vishwarup said, I hesitate to speak, but I know that you are an ocean of mercy. It is the nature of saintly persons to be distressed on seeing the sufferings of others. They always try to make others happy. So, if it is not too much trouble, please cook for Krishna again. Then my family's distress will be vanquished, and we will attain transcendental happiness. The Brahmana said, I have already cooked twice, yet Krishna has not allowed me to eat. I have therefore understood that he has not allotted any rice for me today. If Krishna's sanction is not there, why should we endeavor? One may have unlimited foodstuffs at home, but he can only eat with Krishna's sanction. If Krishna does not allot anything on some day, then even by endless endeavor, one will never achieve a thing. It is practically the middle of the night. Is it proper to cook at this time? Therefore, do not make any further arrangements for cooking today. I will simply eat some fruits and roots. Vishwarup said, There will be no fault if you cook. Everyone will be satisfied. Saying this, Vishwarup caught hold of the Brahman's feet, and everyone else also requested him to cook. Enchanted by Vishwarup, the Brahman said, All right, I will cook. Everyone expressed their satisfaction by chanting the name of Hari. They then quickly cleansed the kitchen and brought all the ingredients for cooking. The Brahman then began to cook, and everyone escorted Nimai to another room. Jagannath Mishra sat in front of the door where the child was detained. Everyone said, Lock the door from the outside so that he cannot get out. Jagannath Mishra said, That's a good idea. Thus, Jagannath Mishra sat outside after latching the door. So not only did he latch the door, but he sat outside of it. There's no way, I was about to say in hell, but whatever. There's no way that Nimai would get out. From inside the room, the ladies said, Don't worry, Nimai is sleeping. He won't do anything now. As they guarded the child in this way, the Brahman soon finished cooking. The pious Brahman prepared a plate for offering and then sat in meditation and offered the food to Krishna. The Supersoul, Sri Sachinandan, knew everything. He had already decided to give darshan to the Brahmana. Thus, by the will of the Supreme Lord, Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, deluded everyone into deep sleep. Sri Sachinandan then went to the place where the Brahman was making his offering. On seeing the child, the Brahman cried out, Alas, alas, not again, a third time. But no one heard him, for they were all fast asleep. The Lord said, O Brahman, you are indeed magnanimous. You call me, so what is my fault? You chant my mantra and invite me, so I cannot resist coming to you. You always desire to see me, so here I am. At that time, the Lord exhibited a wonderful 8-armed form to the Brahmana. Oh, 8-armed form. Oh, I thought it was 4 arms. Okay, so I guess it was plus the pot of butter and that he was eating and the flute also. Okay, yeah, he was playing a flute. Okay, at that time, the Lord exhibited a wonderful 8-armed form to the Brahman. In 4 hands, he held a conch shell, disc, club, and lotus flower. In one hand, he held a pot of butter, from which he ate with another hand. And then with 2 other hands, he played a flute. How do you play a flute and eat butter at the same time? Anyways, Krishna can do anything. He was decorated with the mark of Srivatsa, while the Kaustuva gem and a jeweled necklace hung on his neck. All of his limbs were decorated with jeweled ornaments. His head was decorated with a garland of fresh gunja seeds and a peacock feather. His moon-like face was beautified by his red lips. The Lord smiled as he rolled his eyes. His Vaijayanti flower garland and shark-shaped earrings swayed to and fro. His lotus feet were adorned by jeweled ankle bells, and all darkness was dissipated by the shining of his toenails. The Brahman also saw the abode of Vrindavan filled with wonderful kadamba trees and the chirping of various birds. He saw cowherd boys and girls in all directions. Indeed, wherever he meditated on, he saw manifest before him. Whatever he had meditated on previously, he saw manifest before him. Seeing the extraordinary opulence, the pious Brahman fell unconscious with ecstasy. Lord Gaurasundar, the ocean of mercy, then placed his lotus hand on the body of the Brahman. By the touch of the Lord, the Brahman regained consciousness. Though in ecstasy, he remained inert and unable to speak. The Brahman repeatedly fell unconscious to the ground, and then got up, and then again he fell down in great jubilation. Puna ute, puna pore. His body shivered and perspired, and his hair stood on end. The flow of tears from his eyes resembled the Ganges river. The Brahman then caught hold of the Lord's lotus feet and began to cry loudly. Seeing the Brahman's humility, Sri Gaurasundar smiled and addressed him. The Lord said to him, "Please listen, O Brahman. You have been my servant for many lifetimes. You always desire to see me. Therefore, I have come before you. In a previous life, I gave you darshan at the house of Nanda Maharaj. Do you not remember that? When I appeared in Gokul, you also joyfully visited the various holy places. By providence, you became a guest one day in the house of Nanda Maharaj. At that time, you offered rice to me in the same way, and after I ate your rice, I showed you this very same form. In this way, you have been my servant birth after birth. For other than my servants, no one can see this form. I have thus disclosed to you confidential topics that should not be revealed to anyone under any condition. As long as I remain in this incarnation, you should not tell anyone the secrets that I have told you. Otherwise, I will kill you. I have incarnated to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement, and I will preach this process of chanting throughout the world. I will freely distribute the love and devotion that is desired by Brahma and others to teach. I'll freely distribute the love and devotion that is desired by Brahma and others, even by Brahma and others. I'll distribute that to each and every house. If you remain here for some time, you will see many such pastimes. But do not disclose these things to anyone." In this way, after mercifully pacifying the Brahman, Lord Gaurasundar returned to his home. The Lord then returned to sleep as a child, and by the influence of Yoga Nidra, no one awoke. The Brahman's entire body was filled with ecstasy, and after seeing that wonderful manifestation of the Lord, he smeared all the rice over his body and began to cry as he ate. He then danced, sang, laughed, and repeatedly cried out, "Jai Bal Gopal!" Everyone woke up by the loud cries of the Brahman, who then controlled himself and washed his hands. Seeing that the Brahman had eaten without disturbance, everyone was greatly satisfied. The Brahman thought, "Perhaps I should disclose to everyone what has happened, so that they may be delivered by coming to know the Supreme Lord. The Lord who is sought after by Brahma and Shiva has advented himself in this Brahman's house. Let me tell them that this very child is the Supreme Lord, so that they may all be delivered." But the Brahman feared breaking the Lord's order, and therefore did not disclose the incidents to anyone. After recognizing his Lord, the Brahman secretly remained near the Lord in Navadvip. He would beg alms here and there, and come daily to see the Lord. One who hears these wonderful topics that are confidential to the Vedas certainly attains the lotus feet of Krishna. The topics of Ādi-khaṇḍa are like a flow of nectar, for these topics describe Lord Narayan's pastimes as a child. Sri Gaurasundar is the Lord of Vaikuntha and the crown jewel of the predominating deities of all planetary systems. He is the beloved Lord of Lakshmi and Sita. They who in Treta Yuga appeared as Ram and Lakshman and performed various pastimes like killing Ravan, who in Dwapar Yuga appeared as Krishna and Balaram and performed various pastimes like diminishing the burden of the earth, who all the Vedas addressed as Mukunda and Ananta. They have now certainly appeared as Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Sorry, I wasn't planning on reading all of that. I was going to just do a recap, but it was so good. I just wanted to keep on reading all the verses. So I read it quickly also, so I think. And I won't go over time. As soon as it hits 8:30, I'll stop. So no matter where we get to. All right, let me just look at the comments. Haribo Govinda Sahaprabhu. Okay, so let's open up. This chapter is so much fun. I didn't read the whole thing. I was just skimming through it, and it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Nimai was a whole other level of naughty, like a whole other level more than Krishna. Okay, chapter 6. The Lord begins studying. The Lord begins studying and his childhood mischief. Okay, so this is the Katha Sar, the summary written by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. This chapter describes the beginning of Nimai's scholastic pastimes, his eating the foodstuffs offered to Vishnu on Ekadasi at the house of Jagadiśa and Hiraṇya Pandit, and his various mischievous childhood pastimes. Sri Jagannath Mishra had Gaur Gopal's sanskars, or his reformatory rites, of hate kari and varna karna bedha and chura karan performed. What's hate kari? Karna Veda, that's when they pierce the ears, right? They get earrings. And the chura karan. Chura is when he gets a shika, that's hair cutting. But I don't know what hate kari means. Maybe Govinda Saha, could you tell me? You probably know this. So Nimai could write the letters of the alphabet just by seeing them once. Within 2 or 3 days, he was able to write conjunct letters and words. Should I show you what a conjunct is? I'll just show you. Why not? Okay, so in Hindi and Bengali, this is a full... Let me just make this big. Okay, can you see that? That's ja. Or let me do it with... Let's write Shri. So, oops. So this is a full letter. That's sha. And then you can add a character to it. Oops. Hey, what the heck's happening with font? Okay, let's do sta. That's sa, and that's sta. What the heck? I need to change this font. That's so weird. It's never happened to me before. Kohinoor. Oops. There. Okay. This font will work. So that's a sa. And then that's a ta. And then if you combine them both together, then it becomes sta. Like that. So that's a conjunct. It's a sa and a ta smushed together and it becomes sta. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So he was able to write conjunct letters and words. He would continually write and read Krishna's names. Sometimes Gaur Gopal pleaded for his parents to give him birds flying in the sky, or he'd beg his parents to give him stars and the moon from the sky. Then there was no way to solace the child other than by chanting the names of Hari. When he did not receive these things, when he did not receive the stars and moon from the sky, he began to cry, and there was no way to solace the child other than by chanting the names of Hari. One day, however, Nimai did not stop crying in spite of everyone repeatedly chanting the names of Hari. When they inquired from Nimai about the cause of his crying, they learned that Nimai was displaying his pastime of crying in order to eat the foodstuffs offered to Vishnu on the day of Ekadasi in the house of the 2 Brahmanas, Jagadiśa and Hiraṇya Pandit of Navadvip. The relatives of Nimai solaced him by promising him Vishnu's remnants. They then went to the house of those 2 great devotees and related to them the whole story. Considering Nimai an extraordinary personality, the two Brahmins then gave the foodstuffs that they had offered to Vishnu. As a result, Nimai stopped crying. Nimai exhibited various mischievous pastimes, like teasing his friends, quarreling with them, and sporting in the Ganga water at midday. The elderly men of Navadvip regularly came to Jagannath Mishra to complain about Nimai's misbehavior, and the young girls would similarly come to Mother Shachi to complain about Nimai's various mischievous activities. Shachi Devi, however, solaced everyone with her sweet words. After hearing about the disturbance caused by Nimai, Jagannath Mishra went to the bank of the Ganga at midday to appropriately punish his son. When Nimai heard that his father was approaching in an angry mood, he rushed home by another path. He told his friends that if his father inquired about him, they should say, "Today Nimai has not come for bathing in the Ganges." When Jagannath Mishra did not see Nimai at the bathing ghat, he returned home, where he saw Nimai decorated with marks of ink and looking as though he had not taken a bath. Jagannath Mishra was overwhelmed with love and could not understand the boy's trickery. When he asked the boy about the complaints, the young Nimai replied, "I did not go to bathe in the Ganga yet, but they nevertheless falsely accused me of misbehavior. Now I will actually misbehave with them." In this way, Nimai exhibited his clever pastimes and returns to bath in the Ganga. Meanwhile, Shachi and Jagannath Mishra thought, "Who is this boy? Has Krishna secretly appeared in our homes? In our house?" Oh, thanks for looking that up. So the Chudakaran is the arrangement of the hair tuft, or the mundan. It is the eighth of the 16 Hindu sanskars in which a child receives their first haircut. Cool. Thanks for that. All right, so let's begin. Just quickly checking the comments. Oh wait, and Govinda Saha said, this is his favorite part of Caitanya-bhāgavata. Hate Kori is the first writing of letters on a slate or a blackboard. Okay, cool. Generally, Hate Kori is done before Saraswati Devi during Saraswati Puja. Cool. Thanks for that. Did you do that ceremony, Govinda Saha, when you grew up? I mean, as a child. Sorry. Okay. Hey no mate krida. Sorry. Let me try again. He no mate krida kore Gauranga Gopal Hate kori divar hoilo asikal. In this way, Gauranga, who is not different from Gopal, enjoyed his pastimes. Soon the time came for the Lord to begin reading and writing. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Hate Kori refers to the samskar marking the beginning of a child's education. I mean, okay, I guess everybody's done Hate Kori, like whether they're in the West or in India, because everybody has their first day of school. But is there like but they probably do special rituals and everything like that here in India, right, Govinda? Shubha dine shubha khane Mishra Purandar Hate kori putrer dilen viprabar. At an auspicious time, on an auspicious day, Jagannath Mishra performs the ceremony for beginning his son's education. Kichu sheshe milia shakala bandhugan Karnabedha korilen Shri Churakaran. Then, after a few days, all the family friends came to observe the ceremony of the child's ear piercing and shaving of the head, leaving only a shika. Gaudiya Bhashya. Karnabedha, or piercing the ears, is part of the Chudakaran samskar. It also marks the beginning of hearing the Vedic literature, or becoming eligible to hear topics related with absolute truth by giving up hearing topics not related with the Lord. Chudakaran is one of the 10 sanskars, or reformatory ceremonies. In this ceremony, the child's head is shaved with only the shika remaining. This ceremony was previously known as Vedagni Shika, and later it became known as Sri Chaitanya Shiksha. The inactive Mayavadis consider that keeping a shika is meant for karma kanda, so they shave off their shika in order to free themselves from karma kanda. Vedic Tridandi sannyasis, however, do not shave off their shika. They keep it as a sign of giving up karma kanda and progressing on the path of devotional life. Just looking at... Okay. Hate Kori, Govinda Saha says, is an essential part of Bengali tradition. So yes, he did that. Oh yeah, you already wrote that you do it before Saraswati Devi on Saraswati Puja. Okay, cool. Drishti matra shakala akhara likhi jai Parama vismita hoya sarva jane chai. The Lord could write the letters of the alphabet after seeing them only once. Everyone was astonished to see this. Dina tui tinete parila sarva phala Nirantar likhen Krishner nama mala. Within 2 or 3 days, the Lord completed his study of the conjunct letters. He then constantly wrote various names of Krishna. Gaudiya Bhashya. When one letter of the alphabet is joined with another letter, the newly formed letter is called a phala. Oh, I didn't know that. That's how you say conjunct. Right, so you saw this example. This is a sa, and this is a ta, and you combine them together and it becomes sta. And let's do another one. Sa plus fa equals fa. See? That's a sa, that's a fa, and then combine them together, that's a sfa. Okay. Ramakrishna Murari Ramakrishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali Aharnisha likhen Poden Kutuhali. Day and night he enthusiastically wrote and read the names of the Lord, like Ram, Krishna, Murari, Mukunda, and Vanamali. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Kutuhali means eager or enthusiastic. Shishugan Shange Pore Vaikunte Rai Parama Sukriti Dekhe Sarva Nadiyai. The most fortunate persons of Nadia saw the Lord of Vaikunta study with the other young boys. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Parama Sukriti refers to the most fortunate persons of Navadvip. Verse 8. Ki madhuri kori prabhu kha kha ga gha bole taha shunite matra sarva jiva bhole. The Lord sweetly recited the Bengali alphabet. Kha kha ga gha. Everyone who heard him was captivated. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word madhuri means sweetness or enchanting. The word bhole means overwhelmed. Do you all know about the Bengali alphabet or the Sanskrit alphabet? It's very scientific. It starts the way the words are arranged, the varnamala, they're arranged, and it starts from back here, and it goes further up here, further up here, further up here, until it goes to the very front of the mouth. So the first line is ka ka ga ga nga, cha cha ja ja nya. And then top of the mouth, like that, ta ta da da na, and then the front, ta ta da da na, and then the very front, pa pa ba ba ma. So it goes like that, like that. It's very scientific. And then yara lava sha sha sa ha, and ha. That's the full Bengali alphabet, and then the vowels are separate. The Swarnamala and Varnamala, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah. All right. So, Gaudiya Bhashya, the word madhuri means sweetness or enchanting, and the word bhole means overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed by the Lord's sweetness when he said kakka gaganga like that. Adbhut koren krida Shri Gaur Sundar Jokhon je chahe she parama dushkar. Shri Gaur Sundar performed wonderful pastimes. He would demand things that were impossible to obtain. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word dushkar means rare or impossible to attain. Akashe udiya jai pakhi taha chahe na paile kandiya dhulai gori jaye. If he saw a bird flying in the sky, he desired to have it, and when it was not given to him, he would cry and roll in the dust. Kone chahe akasher chandra taragan hata pao acharya koroye krandan. Sometimes he would demand the moon or the stars in the sky, and when he did not get them, he cried and thrashed his arms and legs. সান্ত্বনা করেন সভে করি নিজ কোলে স্থির নাহে বিশ্বম্ভর deo deo bole deo deo give me. Everyone tried to pacify him by taking him on their lap, but Vishwambar did not relent and continued to demand, give me, deo deo. সবে একমাত্রা আছে মহাপ্রতিকার হরি নাম শুনিলে না কান্দে প্রভু আর হাতে তালি দিয়া সবে বলে হরি হরি তখন সুস্থির হয় চাঞ্চল্য পাশরি. There was, however, one sure remedy. Whenever he heard the names of Hari, he would stop crying. When everyone clapped their hands and chanted the name of Hari, 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 then he would become pacified and give up his restlessness. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word pratikar means antiseptic or medicinal. The word pashori means by forgetting. By this pastime, the Lord demonstrated both the insignificance of the unsatisfied material desires of conditioned souls who never engage in kirtan, and that by hearing Krishna kirtan, all of one's desires and obstacles are destroyed. One's mind becomes fixed, and one's love for Krishna increases. So how do we get rid of our material desires? Only by Krishna kirtan. Then all our desires and obstacles will be destroyed, and our minds will become fixed, and our love for Krishna will increase. Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Balaker prite sobe bole Harinam Jagannath griha hoilo Shri Vaikuntha dham. As everyone chanted the names of Hari in order to please the child, the house of Jagannath Mira appeared, just like Vaikuntha. What does Bhaktivinoda Thakur say? Je dine grihe bhajana deki grihete goloka bhai. That day when I see bhajan being performed, devotional worship of Krishna being performed in my home, then my home becomes completely filled with the atmosphere of Goloka. My home becomes Goloka. Gaudiya Bhashya. Sri Jagannath Mishra is non-different from Sri Vasudev, the personification of pure goodness. Since the influence of the illusory material energy and the three modes of material nature are absent from Vaikuntha, it is a transcendental, eternal abode of pure goodness and non-different from the Lord. In this abode of pure goodness, or Vaikuntha, the names and forms of Lord Hari are eternally present or manifest. The house of Jagannath Mishra was not previously the abode of Vaikuntha due to the absence of Lord Hari's names. Later, it was turned into the abode of Vaikuntha. Such imagination is born of mental speculation covered by the material modes of nature and therefore has no factual basis. That's not true, that statement. That the house of Jagannath Mishra was not previously the abode of Vaikuntha due to the absence of the Lord Hari's names, and that it later turned into the abode of Vaikuntha. No. The pastimes of the spiritual potency are eternally pastimes of the spiritual potency. They are never pastimes of the illusory energy. And the pastimes of the illusory energy are eternal pastimes of the illusory energy, wherein the living entities who are averse to Hari indulge in sense gratification. These are not pastimes of the these are not pastimes of the spiritual potency. They are. Jagannath Mishra's house is eternally the abode of Vaikuntha. Ekadin shabe Hari bole anukhan tathapi ho Prabhu puna koren krandan. One day, in spite of everyone's chanting the names of Hari, the Lord did not stop crying. What's happening? Shabe bolen shuno bapre nimai bhalo kori nacho e Hari nama gai. They all said to him, "Listen, dear Nimai, come and dance nicely while we chant the name of Hari." Na shune bachana karo koroye krandan shabe bolo bap kanda ki karan. The Lord did not listen to them and continued to cry. So they asked him, "Dear child, why are you crying?" Bap. Shabe bolen bap ki icha tomar shei dravya ani dibo na kandaho ar. They all asked him, "What do you want? We will bring it for you, but do not cry. We'll give you whatever you want. Just stop crying." I just want to look up at that word. The word bap means father, but it's like an affectionate thing that they call, an affectionate way they called child also. Okay, yeah, there. Bap, father, child. Okay, so we'll bring it for whatever you want. We'll bring it for you, but do not cry. Prabhu bole jadi mor prana rakha chaho. Oh my God. Tobe jata dhui brahmaner ghare jaho. So dramatic. Okay, the Lord replied, "Jadi mor prana rakha chaho. If you want to save my life, then go quickly to the house of the two brahmanas." Jagadish Pandit Hiranya-bhāgavata e dui sthane amar ache abhimato. Ekadasi upavas aji se dohar. Vishnu lagi kori ache joto upahar. Se sab naivedya jadi khai bare paya. Tobe mui susta hoy hantiya bedaya. Jagadish and Hiraṇya are both Jagadish and Hiraṇya are both great devotees, and I desire to eat something from them. Today is Ekadasi, and they are both fasting, but they have prepared varieties of foodstuff for Lord Vishnu. If I could eat their offering, I would be cured and able to walk. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Bhagavat refers to a devotee of the Supreme Lord, a Vaishnav, or an associate of Lord Hari. The word Abhimata means desire. The word Upahar means foodstuffs. Doesn't Upahar also mean gift? Upahar. Present, complimentary gift, offering. Okay. Sorry. The word susta means peaceful or steady. The two Brahmanas, Jagadish Pandit and Hiranya Pandit, lived in Godrumadvip. Oh, cool, I didn't know that. Their house was some distance from the Lord's house. One day of Ekadasi, they arranged a large offering for the Lord. The injunction for fasting on Ekadasi is meant only for the living entities, but Lord Vishnu is beyond the jurisdiction of the rules and regulations that he has established. Since he is not bound to, and another thing is the Lord's associates, like after Mahabhagavat enters Nitya Lila, you can offer grains to him on Ekadasi day, because he's no longer bound by the rules of the material world, but he's in the Nitya Lila, where there is no like separate days like that, so you can offer grains like that. I learned that because I was Gurudev's Pujari in Puri. So before I was offering Ekadasi preparations to Gurudev, and then I learned that rule. Okay. Since he is not bound to observe, since Lord Hari is not is bound to observe fast on Ekadasi, and since he alone is the enjoyer of all sacrificial offerings, all types of foodstuff should be offered to him on Ekadasi. This is a really important thing. Everybody who's worshipping Thakurji should offer some grains on Ekadasi. Like, not just offer the Ekadasi preps that you're going to eat. Even if you just get like something like a biscuit or something, but just a little something that's not Ekadasi preparations for the Lord. Otherwise, you're making the Lord you're making the Lord observe Ekadasi, which is an offense. So it's always good to have something on hand to offer on Ekadasi at least. Since he is not bound to observe fast on Ekadasi, and since he alone is the enjoyer of all sacrificial offerings, all types of foodstuff should be offered to him on Ekadasi. Actually, in Keshivji Gaudiya Math, we would cook a special feast for him. Also, when I was in Jagannath Puri, generally in the Math, you cook an extra special feast on Ekadasi. The Lord should eat more nicely on Ekadasi than on other days, because that's when he's ready to take service. But I know that's like a temple standard. But at least in devotees' homes, at least if you just offer like a cookie or something. Yeah. On the day of Ekadasi, the Vaishnavas give up all kinds of enjoyment and do not accept the injunction for honoring prasad as on other days. But Lord Hari, the protector of the devotees, accepts the foodstuffs offered by his devotees on his day, Hari Vasar. Shri Gaur Narayan also revealed his desire to eat those foodstuffs. There's a beautiful article by Srila Bhakti Rakshakshira Goswami Maharaj. I've read it online here many times. But he says that on Ekadashi day, our senses get more agitated and we want to enjoy more on Ekadashi. And I actually find that on Ekadashi day, I get hungry like first thing in the morning. I never get hungry first thing in the morning. And like I do have more desire to enjoy. So when we have more desire to enjoy, we should cut that enjoyment, like cut our senses from enjoying all those things. But Srila Sridhar Goswami says that it's not just for that us who want to enjoy more on Ekadashi day, but Krishna also wants to enjoy more. And when Krishna has more desire to enjoy, then there's more opportunity for his servants to serve him. Like he demands service on Ekadashi day. So we have our best opportunity to serve the Lord because he's like eager for our service on that day. So that's I really like that explanation. Asambhava shuniya janani kore khed. What time is it? Okay. He no katha kohe nahe lokabed. Hearing this impossible proposal to eat the food at Jagadiśa and Hiraṇya's house in Godrum, Mother Shachi lamented, "You are requesting something that is not sanctioned in the Vedas or in ordinary dealings." Gaudiya Bhashya. The phrase Jai Nahe Loka Ved refers to that which is not found in worldly tradition or in the Vedas, that which is not customary in worldly or Vedic dealings, or that which is beyond the scope of ordinary Vedic etiquette. Shabe hasen shuni shishur vachan, shabe bole dibo bap sambar krandan. Everyone laughed on hearing the child's demands, and they said, "All right, we'll give you, but please stop crying." Param Vaishnava She Vipra Duijan Jagannatha Mishra Saha Abhed Jivan. Those two Brahmins were great Vaishnavas and the dearest friends of Jagannath Mishra. Shunya Shishur Vakya Dui Vipravar Santoshe Purnita Hoilo Sarva Kalevar. When those first-class Brahmins heard the child's request, they became fully satisfied. Gaudiya Bhashya. The words Santoshe Purnito mean full of jubilation. Hiraṇya and Jagadish were the heart and soul of Jagannath Mishra. In other words, they were well-wishers with unbreakable friendship. Dui Vipra bole maha arbhut kahini Shishur emoto buddhi kabo nahi shuni. The two Brahmins exclaimed, "This is an amazing demand. We have never heard of such an intelligent child." Kemote janilo aji Shri Hari Vasar, kemote ba janilo naivedya bahutar. How did he know that today is Ekadashi? And how did he know that we have prepared all kinds of foodstuffs for the Lord? Bhujilaya e shishur paramarupavan ataev e dehe gopal adishtan. We can understand that since this child is so attractive, Gopal must have manifested in his body. 31. E shishur dehe krida kore narayan hridaye bosiya she bolai bachan. Lord Narayan performs pastimes through the body of this child. Sitting in his heart, Narayan makes the child speak. Mone bhabi dui bipra sarva upahar aniya dilen kori harisha apar. Thinking like this, the two Brahmins brought the various offerings and happily gave them to Nimai. Gaudiya Bhashya. The words Kori Harisha Apar mean with unlimited happiness. Dui Vipra bole bap khao upahar, Shakal Krishner Swarta hoilo amar. The two Brahmins then said, "Dear child, please eat these foodstuffs. Our desire to serve Krishna is fulfilled today." Gaudiya Bhashya. In other readings, the word sat, meaning ate or accepted, is found. We gathered these foodstuffs for offering to Krishna, and since Lord Krishna personally ate these foodstuffs, all our desires have been fulfilled. Krishna kripa hoile, emon buddhi hoy, dasa binu anir e buddhi kabunoy, When one is blessed by Krishna, he receives the intelligence to engage in devotional service. Unless one is a servant of the Lord, he cannot have such intelligence. Gaudiya Bhashya. Krishna, as a supersoul, appears in the hearts of the living entities as the instructing spiritual master within, to inspire one to serve the Supreme Lord. The living entities prove their intelligence by accepting that mercy of the Lord. No one other than the eternal servant of the Supreme Lord can ever exhibit such a service attitude. Another reading for the second line of this verse is Jare kripa hoy tana she janoi. Only one who is favored by the mercy of the Lord can understand him. Bhakti bina Caitanya goshai nahi jani, ananta brahmanda jar loma kupe gani. Without performing devotional service, no one can understand Lord Chaitanya, from whose hair pores innumerable universes emanate. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word nahi jani means not known, and the word gani means counted. The devotional service of Sri Chaitanya Dev is never awakened by the material endeavors of a living entity. Only those who have awakened their devotional service, which is the activity of the soul, can one understand Sri Chaitanya Dev. It is a well-known fact that innumerable universes are situated in the hair pores of Sri Chaitanya Narayan. Heno Prabhu Vipra Shishu Rupe Krida Kore, Chakhu Bhori Dekhe Janma Janmer Kinkare. That same Lord performed his pastimes as a young Brahman child. The Lord's eternal servants see those pastimes to the full satisfaction of their eyes. Chakhu Bhori, they fill their eyes. Life after life. Sorry, not life after, the eternal servants, yeah, the Lord's servants. Servants who are the Lord life. Oh God, I can't think right now. Sorry. Gaudiya Bhashya. Those who are most fortunate and eternal servants of the Lord, birth after birth, can make their eyes perfect by seeing the childhood pastimes of this Brahman boy. Santosha hoila sob, pai upahar, alpo alpo kichu prabhu, khailo sabar. The Lord was fully satisfied to receive that prasad, and he ate a little of each item. 38. Harishe bhakter prabhu upahar khai, ghuchilo shakal vayu prabhur ichai. The Lord joyfully ate the foodstuffs that had been offered by his devotees. Thus, by his own will, his intense craving was appeased. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word ghuchilo means became subdued or vanished, and the word vayu means intense urge or acute desire. 39. Hari Hari Harishe boloye sarva jane, khai ar nache prabhu apana kirtane. Everyone present happily chanted the name of Hari as the Lord ate and danced to the chanting of his holy names. Gaudiya Bhashya. Since Sri Gaurasundar is the Supreme Lord himself and none different from Lord Hari, his other name is Gaur Hari. Therefore, chanting the names of Sri Hari means to chant his names, or Apana Kirtan. That's why it says Apana Kirtan, his own holy names. Koto phele bhumite, koto karo gaye, e moto lila kore, tridasher rai. Some of the prasad fell on the floor, and some fell on people present there. In this way, Tridasha Rai performed his pastimes. Tridasha Rai. I've never heard that term before. Gaudiya Bhashya. Tridash Rai, the Lord of Tridash, refers to 1. He who destroys the living entity's threefold miseries, those inflicted by the body and mind, that's Adhyatmic, those inflicted by other living entities, Adibhotik, and those inflicted by natural disturbances, Adidaivik. So Tridasha refers to that, destroying those threefold miseries. And 2, it refers to the Lord of those who are under the influence of birth, existence, or death, and death and childhood. So youth or old age. Anyway, sorry, you get that. I'm not going to reread that. 3, the Lord of 30. It also means the Lord of 33 demigods, which are the 12 Adityas, the 11 Rudras, the 8 Vasus, and the 2 Vishvadevs. He is Gaur Vishnu, the Lord of all lords. Oh, cool. Satya Mataji was reading something the other day where they referred to Krishna as the King of Three. Cool. So he is Gaur Vishnu, the Lord of all lords. Je Prabhure Sarva Vede Purane Bakhane Heno Prabhu Khele Shachi Devir Angane. That same Lord who is glorified in the Vedas and Puranas thus played in the courtyard of Mother Shachi. Gaudiya Bhashya. The term Vede Purane refers to the scriptures. Dubila Chanchalya Rase Prabhu Vishwambhar Sanghati Chapala Joto Dvijer Kong I don't know how you say that. Kongar, whatever. Lord Vishwambar drowned in the mood of a restless child as he sported with other restless Brahmin boys. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Sanghati means society, community, or a gathering of people. But in this verse, it means along with. The word Kongar, or whatever, is a corruption of the word Kumar, or male children. 43. Sabar sahita giya pore nanasthane dhoriya rakhite nahi pare kono jane. As the Lord went to study at various places with his friends, no one was able to control him. 44. Anya shishu dekhile koroe kutuhal seho parihasa kore bajaye kondal. Whenever the Lord met Lord was a bully. Whenever the Lord met some new boys, he would tease them. And when the other boys retaliated, a quarrel broke out. That is just a... Okay, Gaudiya Bhashya. The word kutuhala means to make fun of. The word bhajai means to begin or to commence. And the word kondal is a corruption of the Sanskrit word kandal, which means quarrel or debate. Prabhur balaka sab, jine Prabhu bole, anya shishu ganjata saba hari chole. By the strength of the Lord, he and his friends always won such quarrels, and the other boys would leave in defeat. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word Prabhur refers to those who are on the Lord's side. Okay, That means of the Lord, right? They were on the Lord's side. And the word jine means to win. And the term hari chole means to be defeated. So by the strength of the Lord, he and his friends always won such quarrels, and the other boys would leave in defeat. Dhulai dhusar prabhu, Shri Gaur Sundar, Likhan Kalir Bindu Shobhe Manohar. When Lord Gaurasundar became grey with a covering of dust and decorated with drops of ink, he appeared most enchanting. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word likhan means for writing. We have 5 minutes left. Poriya shuniya sarva shishu gan shange, Ganga snane madhyane cholen bahu range. At noon, after their studies, the Lord and his friends joyfully went to bathe in the Ganges. The rest of the chapter is describing all this, the Lord's pastimes in the Ganges. And the Ganga, 48. Majjiya Gangai Vishwambar Kutuhali Shishu Gana Shange Kore Jal Phela Pheli. Phela Pheli. Splashing. Jal Phela Pheli. Vishwambar and his friends eagerly entered the Ganga, wherein they enjoyed splashing water on each other. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word majjiya refers to being merged or immersed. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there's very often words like this, pela peli. I guess that's like, they're called dvanatmik shabda. They're words that are, like, you can get a feel from the word itself. It's like makes, I mean, I guess that's not the best example, but yeah, Bengali is such a cool language. Nadiyar sampati va ke bolite pare, asankhyato loko eko ghate snan kore. Who can describe the opulence of Navadvip? Innumerable people took bath at one of the bathing ghats. What is that? It's called an onomatopoeia in English, I think. Yeah, Bengali is full of them. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word sampatti means wealth, opulence, or beauty. The word asankhata means innumerable. Koteko va shanta danta grihasta sannyasi, na jani kotek shishu mile tonhi asi. I am unable to say how many saints, ascetics, householders, sannyasis, and children came there to take bath. Savare loya prabhu gangai santare, khone dube khone bhase nana krida kore. As the Lord swam in the Ganges with his associates, sometimes he would dive below the surface and sometimes he would float. In this way he enjoyed various water sports. Jal krida kore kor sundara sharir, sabakar gaye lage choraner nir. While engaged in water sports, Lord Gaurasundar would splash water with his feet on those nearby. Shabe mana kore tobo nished na mane, dhoriteo keho nahi pare ekasthane. People forbade him from doing this, but the Lord ignored them and they were unable to catch him. Puna puna sabare korai prabhu snan, kare choa karo ange kulola pradan. I'm going to stop now. It's 8:29. The Lord compelled everyone to bathe again and again. So the Lord compelled everyone to bathe again and again by touching them or by spitting on them. Oh my God. Gaudiya Bhashya. The word kulola comes from the Hindi word kulla, which means water spit from the mouth. He's just getting started. He gets even more naughty than this. But we're gonna stop now because it's 8:30. So okay, we just got the tiniest little taste of the Lord's naughtiness in the water, but it gets a lot. Yeah. Whoa, this just broke off. Good thing I wasn't holding this. Okay, let's just read one more verse. Na paiya prabhur, na gali vipragane, sabe cholilentar, jana kerastane. Being unable to restrain him, the Brahmins approached his father to complain about him. The word nagali means face to face or next to. So we will hear what happens tomorrow after they complained to Jagannath Mishra. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gora Hari. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nugogoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnama Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Jagadiśa Hiraṇya Pandit Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Mishra Shachi Devi Ki Jai. All the Brahmin friends of Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Navadip Vasi Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Caitanya-bhāgavata Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. Oh yes, Satya Mataji, I will do that for sure. Okay, I'm just checking. Haribol Champak Didi, Satya Mataji. Let me check on Facebook and YouTube who is all there. Raseshwari Mataji, Karuna Didi, Ganga Mataji, Sudevi Didi, Kishore Prabhu, Indira Mataji, Govinda Saha, and Sajan Maharaj. Oh wow, Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Prajumna Prabhu, Mantra Murti Mataji, Kishore Prabhu, Indira Mataji, and everybody, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining in this reading, especially Sajan Maharaj. Thank you so much for coming. And we will read the rest of this chapter tomorrow. We'll hear the extent of Nimai's naughtiness. Yeah, he gets really, really bad. He's like Yeah, it's a whole other level. So yeah, that will be a lot of fun to read. And yeah, see you all for that tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe, Haribo. Dandavat pranams. Wait, I'm just quickly checking again. Okay. Haribo and Dira Mataji. Oh, wait. Kishore says, tomorrow is Ekadashi. Yes, it is Ekadashi for us here too. I didn't realize that until you just said that. It's Kamala Ekadashi. Cool. Wow. Great. So we will read the recap of Hiraṇya and Jagadiśa tomorrow on Ekadashi day, which is very appropriate. That's really great. Nice. I love when that happens.